Today on episode 78, our Stan Jones episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, a brand new segment, the Local Legends interview. We have the Local Food Spotlight, another new segment, Over and Unders, and the TCF NOT Top 3 of Foods. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 78 of Typical Chicago Fans. I am your host, Boomy, on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure to follow the main page at Typical_Chicago. Make sure to like the Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. You can find them all there. Head on over to YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to our page on there for all of our content in video form. Doesn't matter what it is, the podcast, the daily show, the food reviews. It's all there in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure to follow us there. And be sure to give these guys that I'm joined with tonight, make sure you give them a follow on Twitter. It's Zach at ZLiliaTCF. And, of course, Matty at schools_01. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago. Head on over to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago, to check out the coolest sports merchandise in Chicago. They've got everything from shirts that you see me and Zach wearing tonight, hats, hoodies, flags, all that good stuff. Like I said, head over to their site, find the product or products that you love, and go to checkout, use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. If you love our show, love great Chicago merch, like I said, head over to 26shirts.com/Chicago. Pick out the great items and make sure to use that promo code Typical Chicago Fans for all of 15% off your order. Boys, we're back. Episode 78. How we doing?
It's cooling down, so that's nice.
Hottest week of the year this past
hottest week of the year. We think summer.
Hottest week of my life. That was brutal.
Brutal. The humidity. When you woke up this morning, and it was just, the fog was just, that's when you just like don't want to go outside. You look outside and like, it's not cold enough for it to be foggy that way.
I saw from my bathroom window, and I'm like, I saw the fog, and Zach said it. You see that fog, and you're like, yeah, that's not right. It shouldn't be like that out.
Gross outside. You go outside and it's 7 in the morning. You're just sweating.
You can see the humidity. That's all that is. It's not any. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a sauna that's outside.
I opened my garage door this morning, and my sunglasses fogged up. I'm like, I want to go back to bed.
Boys,
but it's the weekend. Now it's the weekend, and it's cool.
I know we just mentioned 26 shirts. I gotta say I can confirm too that the promo code does work. Mm-hmm. It's exactly as we described here in the lead off to the show. So got my shirt. Shipping is confirmed. Be here in a couple of days, man. I'm pretty jacked.
Absolutely love it. We got to give a quick shout out to another member of the podcast, Pigoy. Special shout out to him and his wife. Welcome home.
Confirmed 2-time sex haver.
Yep. Confirmed
2-time, buddy.
That a boy.
Good for you.
That a boy.
Welcome home their baby daughter today. So shout out to the Pigoy family.
Beautiful.
Let's get into it, boys. As always, sinkers and floaters. I'll start off with my sinker, and that is Jeff Bezos. And I'm not going to get into the crazy political side of it, but there's protests popping up all over the country, as you probably have seen in the news, whether that's, sports-related, politics-related. But people have been popping up at Jeff Bezos' house to protest some of the things that he's been under fire for. And they set up a guillotine in his right outside of his house. And I don't know about you guys, but if anyone brings a guillotine to my house, I'm going to be scared. I don't care if you're the most powerful man on the planet. Guillotines are scary. Thousands upon thousands of people beheaded in the French Revolution. And actually, this is crazy fact for you. This is history guy Boomy coming in. Do you guys know what year the last guillotine execution happened in France?
Couldn't
or at least
even.
I don't know. Was it Napoleon?
The 1970s was the last time the guillotine was used in France. I'm 95% sure I'm right on that.
But well, you might want to be 100%.
I'm like fairly certain. I'll look it up when you get into yours.
Let's bring the electric chair back while we're at it. Let's really like fry some guys. You know what I mean? Like, if we feel bad, dude. Let's get
medieval with it.
Strap them in. Put about 300,000 volts through them, and let's go. Let's go old school with it.
I love it. Let's get medieval, man. But yeah, people are protesting outside of Jeff Bezos' house, and but what's kind of crazy is they brought this guillotine, and unfortunately, it was probably all parts that they bought off of Amazon, so it didn't really matter.
The first 200 billionaire.
Yeah.
$200 billion is what that's insane.
He's gonna be the first guy to make $100 million in a day, right? Like to just like start netting him $100 million in a day.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Oh, I was right. 1977.
Jeez
Louise, that's insane.
That was 43 years ago.
It's not that long ago. When you
no,
what I mean? Like, it's a pretty barbaric way to go.
Insane. But let's get into my sinker. It's something that a lot of people who listen to, typical Chicago fans, Bears fans. I'm actually wearing my Bears hat. Brian Urlacher, he has just an ignorant, tone-deaf post on his Instagram story. Just ignorant. It's something about Brett Favre. He played after his father passed away, and the NBA players didn't play because of It's not even really worth talking about the post because it's just stupid. And the other thing that he liked was a picture of the kid walking down the road with the AR-15, and it's pretty much saying what he did was honorable and what he was acceptable, and it pretty much says that what he did was something that helped his country, and in no way did any of that. That was one of the scariest videos that I've seen, is that kid just shooting in a dark neighborhood at nighttime with people around, and for him to take he's a Hall of Fame football player. You got a lot you're this big time football player, whatever, and you think that you're going to use your power to do something like that is just awful. And the Bears have disavowed everything that he said, everything that he's done, and want nothing to do with him. His teammates have come out. Matt Forte just went in on him on Twitter, which was
I did
good.
See a former teammate, and I'm not sure if he played
Rashad
for the Bears.
Davis.
Yes, he's going to do a sit down with him.
But sit down with him.
You made a great point, man. And we're not going to get deep into the political side of things, and like whether you agree with or disagree with it. People have to understand that they have pull, and when you have millions of followers,
it makes you sad that you once cheered for that person, but you can't really think about it that way because that's football, and that's a different side of it. But to think that somebody is a Hall of Famer, and that he is going to go out there and like a picture like that, put the post up. I mean, I looked at the Instagram story as of last night, and it was still up. It was up for I think it was up for the duration of the 24 hours. And just ignorant. It's ignorant. It just shows you the type of person he really is. Tone deaf. It's stupid.
Thank you. I didn't even get to chime in yet. I gotta say that, Zach, and I don't mean this at all insulting. And I don't want this to come across. But when you said that, there were two things you said there that I think might have been the two smartest things that have ever been uttered on this podcast since I've been here. And that was tone deaf, and you said that it did nothing good for this country. Is what that kid did, right, wrong, or indifferent. If you want to fight that it's self-defense or not, we're not going to debate that or here. It's not the place. But it didn't do any good. Him running into the crowd with an AR-15 didn't do any good for him, them, anybody else in the country involved. So it's not anything to glorify. So I'm glad you put it that way. It's a really, really insightful way to put that.
And if you really think about it,
it's a great way to put it.
Think about it, his the post and the like contradict each other.
Right.
You're saying those guys did something that he was a bad guy or whatever, this and that, whatever. Shut up, dude. The kid walked down a street with an AR-15 and was untouched by police. That's just to think that that's okay. Like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. It's not even worth the time. And I know we're kind of going along with a sinker, but it's just something that I think that, like they said, typical Chicago fans. We think that we've seen this guy, we've cheered for the guy or whatever, and you got to look at it. And this is when you really have to separate sports from reality. And
Just
this guy
separating the
in
art
this
from the
guy
artist.
and and it's not like you would. It's like if he came back and played, you would cheer for him. He still you'd be like, dude, this guy is a bad guy. But it's one of those things. It's like you got to know that outside of football, these guys live a life that, like, you got to know that they're not all good guys in different ways. And this in Brian Urlacher's case, he's just an ignorant. I don't even know how to really word it. It's just scummy, just ignorant, and he just is
Well, you said
taking
it right. You said
advantage
it
of
best.
his power.
It's tone deaf.
Yep.
And it was spot on when you said that, because it's just not considered to.
He doesn't have
It's not
power
cons-
either.
It's
It's
not
not like he has power.
considerate to. It's just not considered to his friends, the people that he played with, the people he grew up with. It's not taken into consideration anybody else's or the impact your words have, and that's when you have that kind of power. That you always gotta be mindful of that. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Well said, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. My sinker is kind of goes along with it, and it's social media as a whole. It's just been so hard to just, I don't know. It's just so hard to be a part of social
Because
media.
it kind of goes off of what I
right
just
now.
said too. It gives people that shouldn't
But not everybody needs a platform to give every opinion.
Yeah, and I guess you have freedom of speech, but there's a point where it's like maybe some people don't need that kind of way of getting
freedom of
getting their
speech.
point
But
across.
I've got the freedom to think that you're an asshole after
Yeah,
some of the
like,
shit you say.
some of the stuff on
So
Facebook.
I got that freedom too. So it's ultimately what it comes down to. I just, the comment section on every post that you see on like a news article, and it stems from COVID. It stems from all of the things going on.
People show their true colors in the comment section.
It's just like, man, how can we just all be better people to each other? Just a little bit.
What
more
did you say earlier? I don't remember which one you guys said it, but it's a perfect mantra, and it's just don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Just don't be an asshole. That's the rule of thumb. I just want to pound into my kid's head. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. It's okay to come up short. It's okay to let somebody down occasionally if you don't do it intentionally or hurt people intentionally. But just don't be an asshole. Just like if you do that, things are gonna work out for you.
Yeah, just be nice. Like, how hard is it for certain people to just be nice?
Yeah.
Amen.
You don't have to go out of your way. It's like, just don't be a
common courtesy.
And that's coming from me. Yeah, I can. Everyone has bad days. People are gonna be assholes sometimes.
Yep.
But it's what you do, like, most of the time. You know what I mean?
Well, you never know what people are going through, so just be mindful when you post stupid shit and how that might affect.
Exactly what I was trying to get to the point. I didn't mean most of the time. What I mean is you got to be mindful. Like, not even the happiest of people are going to have bad days, and just like some people just aren't considerate of other people.
Well, someone very, very close to me went through a long run of complications from COVID, and it was scary. And I thought there was, things were looking dark, and for a short time, but it was scary nonetheless for 10-day stretch of being in the ICU. So every time I see people just like kind of saying it's a hoax or it's this or it's that, it's like, you know what? It impacted me really, really hard, and you have no idea. And so when you say things like that, it's a fake disease and stuff. Like, it's just like it's not. And it's just like you have no idea how much, like, somebody that I respect, how much that when they say stuff like that, how much it's just like.
And
I thought very high of you until that. And
even a smaller, way smaller version of that. I have family members who, like, they just don't have their taste and smell. Like, that's just you think like that. That's just weird. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that is to the extreme of what Matty was going through, but like even that, things that happen. You're like, seriously, like that it's just why like energy into that kind of negative bullshit is what it is.
You guys are nailing it, and it goes for every aspect of daily life, man. And it could be coronavirus, it can be the civil unrest going on. Like, you don't know what everyone goes through. So like, if you take anything away from this podcast, man, it's just let's try to be better to each other, and I think it could go a long way. So
And
I
as
think
a
Both sides. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
as a podcast,
absolutely.
we usually stay away from stuff like that. We try to go to sports and have fun with it, but at some point, you can only sit back and hear so much bullshit
Yeah.
from people. You know what I mean? And that's just speaking to especially the Briner Lecker stuff. That was just stupid bullshit.
Can I come back with my my floater as well?
Yeah,
I
let's
know
just
I'm
The floor is yours,
doubling up with my sinker, and then I'm going to come back with my floater, and that's our guy Anthony Rizzo. Need to put a T on his chest for his comments. I'm extremely apolitical at this point. Like I think Democrats are full of shit. I think Republicans are full of shit. And Anthony Rizzo said it best. He was quoted as saying, "Shit doesn't change, and it's just the fact of the matter. Politicians really don't give a fuck about us." This is all quotes, by the way. All they care about is their own agenda. This is just the way it is, and it's upsetting. I'm sorry to use that language and go off. It's upsetting, end quote. I could not agree more.
Yes.
Each word of that statement. And I just wanted to thank him for being honest and kind of speaking on behalf of somebody who feels very much that same way and doesn't have the voice to say,
and a lot of America feels that.
To reach the amount of people that he has the reach to. And so kudos to him for saying that.
We'll get more into it with the NBA, but that's what they're trying to do is get their owners to try and influence the higher ups, the governors, the stuff like that. And that's what all these sports are doing with their boycotts of the game is they're trying to get their voices heard from people who can make the changes within states and United States all over.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, man. I completely agree. He said it very, very well. I'm gonna go completely off of what we're on the tracks for because it's much different. You guys know me, man. This would be a wacky web story if it was a weekday. But it does kind of relate because this is something that is in the news a lot, and it has to do with the post office. And I'm not even going to talk about mail-in voting and all that good stuff. But a Cleveland area postal manager, Anthony Sharp, has been brought up on charges by a federal grand jury this week for a scheme that he made a boatload of money on. And those charges include intent to distribute controlled substances with intent to distribute those controlled substances, money laundering, and theft of mail. This guy works at the post office and was taking packages that had drugs in them and selling them on the street.
That's genius.
That's efficient.
I mean,
well, he got caught, so
there's no overhead.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I mean,
jail. Who's gonna rent out?
Yeah.
The mailman stole my drugs.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Call the cops? Excuse me, 911. Yeah, the mailman stole my meth.
As much as we want to praise or say he's a genius, he's going to jail. So apparently he didn't do it.
I'm not saying he's a genius, but I just thought, I mean, with everything that they talk about with the postal service and then this
genius, I guess. At first, I thought he was.
The ROI on that business model is through the roof. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. If you don't get caught, there's no overhead.
Yeah, well, yeah. Until it probably didn't take very long.
It really didn't because they said they found out because he used the profits to buy a motorcycle and a Polaris slingshot like right away.
Well, didn't you watch Goodfellas, dude? You got to hide it for a little while.
Yes.
Don't go out and buy the fur coat for your girl right away. You know, come on.
They got because of those purchases and like it was out of I think he was paying cash for these. Obviously, they started tailing him and literally caught him as he left the post office he worked at and pulled him over, and he had like fentanyl and meth and stuff in his car from the post office.
That'll get you.
Yep.
My floater is fall time, boys. We're gonna get a little bit of taste of it here in the next week or so. The summer's coming to an end. We're gonna get some nice fall weather. All I can dream about, boys, is a nice fall Saturday morning. Hopefully, just a bunch of college football.
Maybe some Big Ten games.
Nah,
We'll see.
I don't think it's
We'll
gonna
see.
happen.
No.
Sunday into Sunday, another beautiful fall day. Some NFL football, boys. I'm just dreaming of fall.
The
I
Sunday.
don't know when does the fall officially start.
I think
Like
September 21st usually.
Yep.
I think somewhere in
Yeah,
that
about a month.
neighborhood.
I'm just dreaming of it.
But usually even late September, you'll get like a 75, 80-degree day and then like 55, 50 at night. And it's just
That's what we're gonna get next week, boys.
Get the bonfire going. I love it.
Oh, I got a bonfire pit here at the house that I have not used yet. So
same.
There we go. There we go.
Same.
We'll do some TCF podcasts around the fire, maybe.
Can't wait. Let's jump into it. The TCF Sports Minute. We
explain a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't really discussed this on the Daily Show, but we cover sports every day in Chicago, Monday through Thursday on the TCF Morning Show. So if you haven't checked those out, make sure to subscribe. To
every morning
and beyond. It's not just Chicago sports.
Oh yeah,
and beyond. But
Matty Pucks.
Forget Matty Pucks will be coming at you Monday morning. Matty Pucks. But like I said, we do all that stuff on there. We do the daily updates on sports and stuff. So we're gonna kind of stick mostly to sports there. We're gonna leave this. We're gonna just talk about sports, but it's gonna be more. We're gonna do some more segments here. Get some comedy to the podcast.
Get to know your boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. But hey, let's dive into it. The Cubs are kind of hitting the skids right now. We're recording this Friday. They lost to Cincinnati today. Lost 2 of 3 in Detroit earlier this week. Starting pitching rotation doesn't look great. The hitting is not very timely right now. I know that it's crazy because we've only been playing baseball for a short amount of time, but like we're now officially over halfway through the season, so it's time to have a little more of a sense of urgency. I know that they're still in first place in the division, but the
division sucks.
Start fixing things.
The only team over 500. We're the only team over 500 right now. I think. The White Sox now in first place, boys. Playing good, playing amazing. The Cubs.
Fuck that team.
Cubs are looking bad. Bad. What? I don't know.
Let's get it out of our system now. That's all I'm going to say. Let's go into September. Let's really crank the heat up a little bit here next week, 10, 15 days.
I didn't like the Kyle Hendricks.
Put the foot on the gas pedal a little bit. Start putting this division away. Get a playoff spot locked up. Get ready for the playoffs and then go because they're going to have the experience. They're going to have battle-tested guys. I like that going into this playoff scenario. So just get there healthy. Get in a good spot. You don't want to face, I don't want to really face like a team like the Braves right off the bat. If we avoid it, but
Matt, I gotta go against that a little bit here. What have we done the last 2 seasons? We've waited around, just keeping the division close, and then boom, at the end we lose it. That's what I feel like we're doing again. We literally should be running away with this division right
now. They should be 10 games.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is get hot now. Like just get hot now and build a lead.
They should have beat the Tigers. They should have beat the Reds today. They should have beat the White. You know what I mean? Like, come on. How are we giving up, 7 runs to the freaking Reds? Come on.
Well, you gotta figure in any night when you get six runs on a night that Kyle Hendricks starts, you gotta feel pretty good about that usually.
I think overall we're gonna get lucky that this division is down right now, not playing well. But let's say one of these teams gets hot, 2 of these teams get hot for some reason, and the Cubs end up in that fighting for that second spot. Like, we're gonna come back to right now because they couldn't run away with it. Like,
not even Pirates. Still has played 8 less games than the Cubs. So
some of those aren't getting made up.
That's kind of getting to be bullshit too. Every time we play them, we got a double.
Yeah, they're not going to get all made. Not all of their games.
But still, you don't want to leave it up to that. And you guys are saying it correctly. Like, if you want to, get it out, like Matt said, it's out of your system now. Now is the time to turn it on and go because right now the team on the south side of Chicago is turning it on, and hopefully, for their sake that they can keep that going. Are they dangerous at the plate right now?
Well, you saw a little bit of it tonight too. It was like for the Sox, Eloy homered, Robert homered, Crandall homered.
Yeah,
it's like it's nuts, man. Like that's all they do is just hit bombs, and they're hitting the hell out of the ball. They're getting good pitching now too. Their bullpen's really tough. It's a team that they go out and make a trade for a guy like a Lance Lynn or even a Trevor Bauer. Like look out because they could be a contender for the AL as much as anybody right now.
I will advise against Trevor Bauer just for the fact that on my MLB The Show, I got traded to the White Sox, and they have Trevor Bauer, and he stinks. So if that's a precursor to what he did on the South Side.
That sounds realistic, Boomy.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to blame you for dragging him down. You probably put the drone back in his hands, didn't you?
Yeah, me and him are friends in the game, and we went drone racing, and
But White Sox, first place. Good for you guys.
Whatever, they still suck.
That's nice.
NBA will get back to action this week. Games kicking off Saturday. We got 3 games. We got Milwaukee up 3-1, Lakers up 3-1, and a series that's turning into a really great series. The Thunder Rockets. Man, that is one I did. Obviously, Russell Westbrook will be coming back most likely this weekend, but man, that's turning into a hell of a series.
They said Westbrook looks explosive too in practice right now, coming back from his injury.
So the Thunder are going to have to take it up even more. I mean, I think the Thunder are playing their best, version of basketball that they can play right now, and then you throw Russell Westbrook at maybe his most explosive peak.
Did you guys think that Gilgeous-Alexander was going to turn into the player that he has?
By the way, never.
College, like that, he was not even one of Kentucky's better players when he was there. He was good, but he wasn't like their, he wasn't their go-to guy.
Right.
Guys, do you think that the time away from the court, the time away from practicing here the last few days, do you think that'll affect any team? You think that'll maybe help some teams get a little bit? They needed to have a few extra days rest. Like, do you think that will have any effect on any of this?
I don't think it can hurt. They were playing intense basketball every other day. And there was usually during the playoffs, the way the current schedule has always been, it's like a day here, then they wait 2 or 3 days, and then they play game 2, and then they play game 3 2 days later, and then they get a third day, the next game. So the playoffs seem to be always so far stretched out is what it got to. And I think now they're kind of cramming it in where they're playing every other day. Sometimes some back-to-backs here, especially in the NHL, like we talked about as well. But I think that's the thing. Whether getting a couple days here in the middle of it, I think it will help some guys recharge the batteries a little bit.
Definitely. Think about that Thunder team we were just talking about. They're led by veterans. Steven Adams, Chris Paul. Those guys that maybe have more miles on their legs. They're going to do nothing but benefit from a couple days. And I know it hasn't been like they haven't been out at the beach just hanging out. They've obviously been doing a lot of different meetings and things with everything going on. But I definitely think being off the court and not beating those legs up as much will play into the hands of some of those veteran lace teams.
Well, you think Luka Doncic could use a couple extra days for the ankle?
No.
You know what I mean? Like think a guy like that could maybe the swelling goes down a little bit less, a little bit.
Yeah, especially with the ankle injury and everything.
A guy like him, I think, could really benefit from a couple days. And I think I'm excited to get the games back just from sick of hearing all the other bullshit we've talked about. So,
but aside from everything sports-wise, I mean, these last few days have been historic days. I mean, we're gonna look back at these days, and it's
this whole last few months has been just
2020
really,
in general.
About it. Yeah,
seems like fiction.
It really.
We almost lost an NBA season due to social injustice when we thought 2 months ago we were going to lose it to a pandemic. Yeah. It's crazy. It is absolutely. But, the NBA players have taken their stance and they're working. I think it came out today that the owners are going to work a little closer with them.
They started all this. They started all the protests and from the sports side of things. And it's a great thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And even talking about another sport that took a day off, hockey is back this weekend. They will be they have 3 games going on to Saturday, 11 a.m., 6 p.m., and 8:45. In the East, we still have remaining the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. That series, the Lightning lead 2-1. And then we have Philly and the Islanders. That series is tied at 1. one game each. In the West, Vegas and Vancouver are tied at 1, and Dallas and Colorado. Dallas leading that series 2-1. So with sports kind of coming back this weekend, there's definitely there's basketball, there's hockey. I mean, there's still, and we talked about it. Go back and listen to the Daily Show. Matt covered.
Matty Pucks will be back Monday morning.
I'm back on assignment.
Breaking it down.
On assignment Saturday, Sunday.
There's still 8 really good hockey teams left, so make sure you check out what's going on
whatever
the ice.
you do, just if you're gonna pick one series to watch, just if you only have time to watch one.
Let me guess. Dallas, Colorado.
That series is go with that series. Take the over and just enjoy the hell out of it because it's 2 really fun teams to watch and tons of talent on both sides. The defensive core out of Dallas is just unbelievable with Klingberg it leading in. It's Heiskanen is the other guy that they got, and he was like a 3rd overall pick a couple years ago. So they just got talent coming out of everywhere, man. It's nuts.
Definitely some good stuff going on all over. Anything else we missed out on in the sports realm, boys? WNBA followed the NBA's, lead to postpone games. MLS, I believe, even postponed some.
I mean, some of the ways they protested, like on the court and stuff, the WNBA was very powerful.
Yeah, I thought the WNBA did a very good job. Baseball's was a little choppy, but you did see some players sit out, some games postponed. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else we missed in the sports realm for the Sports Minute, boys?
Big Ten, maybe trying to sprinkle in a fake date of Thanksgiving to get everybody's hopes up, just so they can say, no, it's not going to work here either, guys. Sorry, go back to the original schedule. So that's all they're doing is building up hope, getting these guys to practice, and then they're going to shit down everybody's head again.
We're ready to introduce a new segment for you guys. It's something we're going to start including every week in the podcast. This is something that me and Zach have been brewing up for the last year plus, and this is called Local Legends. We're going to start off this segment this week with a very special interview to me. I got to interview my dad, Brian Blumhorst, and you'll find out why he did something amazing on the golf course this summer. So we're going to throw it to that and then be ready.
This is part one. We got part 2 coming next week. Uncle Brian is a coach. He was a teacher. He was a teacher, retired now. So they'll get more into that part of his life next week. But this week we're talking about the golf. But this is part 1 this week, part 2. But this has been like a little bit of a segment that me and Boomy have been thinking about. So I think this is gonna be something really, really cool.
And if you have any suggestions on the people that we got to get, and we're talking the Illinois Valley, we're talking Sandwich, Plano, Somonauk.
Or if you want to come on, just hit us up. I mean, we are looking for anything, anybody, whatever. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. So without any further ado, we're going to throw it to our first interview with my dad, Brian Blumhorst. Let's go. All right, everybody. I am joined here by a very special guest. It is none only than my dad, Brian Blumhorst. I had to bring him on the podcast this week to talk about something special. Dad, what is the special thing that you have done this summer?
I've had 2 hole-in-ones.
So not only 1 hole-in-one, which I think a lot of us can agree we haven't done, you've hit 2 hole-in-ones. That's correct?
Correct.
All right, so set the scene for us. Now, let's go back real quick, though. This is not your first hole-in-one or ones.
Correct.
What happened? You hit one a long time ago.
Yeah, the first one actually goes back to July of 2000, but that story actually goes back to July 24th of 99. I was in a horrific car accident and, broke both legs, both arms, had a broken rib that punctured my lung and a shattered collarbone, and I was basically in a hospital for 30 days and then in a hospital bed at home for another 30 days. And so about Thanksgiving, Christmas time, I was really worried if I was ever going to play golf again. I mean, it hurt just to move, period. And so I really spent, starting about Thanksgiving vacation, Christmas vacation, I literally spent every day swinging without a club, just moving my arms. And back then I was a member at the old Paw Paw golf course, And and we had just transitioned because we moved north of Mendota, and I had just joined Earlville golf course because they were the two closer ones for me for where we lived. And so I'm a big believer in visualization. I mean, that goes back to being a kid and shooting a basketball in your bed straight up and down, and that kind of stuff. So literally for like 3 months, I practiced swinging at Paw Paw Golf Course and Earlville Golf Course. I played 9 holes damn near every day watching TV just because I didn't think I was ever going to be able to play again, and it gradually got better and better and better. So now 2000 rolls around, and you got to remember, again, I'm a member at Earlville, and it's a Mendota Elks play day out at Mendota Golf Course. And so we're out there playing, and I'm playing with Kenny Argis, Packenham, and Faber. I'm drawing a blank on Faber's first name, but we're on hole number 4, and you got to remember, I'm still not like fully able to like turn, and my collarbone was shattered, and because of everything else that was wrong, they couldn't fix it. So I was still having trouble with my left shoulder. So I go to hole number 4, and it's only 171 yards, but I've got to hit a 5-wood.
Yeah.
Right. Just trying to get some distance, and actually I hit it a little thin. And I played my fade. I mean, it's kind of what I play a left to right fade to begin with. And so it hit right in front of the green. And those play days, Mendota does a great job of when they know they've got a bunch of amateurs out there putting the pins in pretty favorable places. And this one was smack dab right in the middle. It was a white pin, and it hit on front. And it just rolled right in, and it actually hit fairly hard.
Oh, so it hit and then dropped, like hit the stick and.
No, it hit off the green.
Oh, okay.
And then it rolled up, and because we could hear the tink back on the tee box, and it dropped in. Of course, we went crazy, and up until then, that was my greatest round ever of a 36 on the front. And even the better part of it was an Elks play day, so I didn't have to buy anybody any rounds. So that was.
Did you win? Was there a closest to the hole?
Yeah.
So
no. I won something. I won a sleeve of golf balls, and
that's
I can't
it.
remember.
Like, some people hit hole-in-ones and get like a car. You got a sleeve of golf balls.
I got a sleeve of golf balls. I think maybe for lowest rounders. It had nothing to do really with the hole-in-one, but I'll take it. It was worth it. So I got a plaque, and so I got the scorecard and the golf ball. I got all that on there. So that was, and here's the ironic thing. My accident was July 24th of 99, and this happened July 16th of It was literally 8 days short of the anniversary of my accident. Crazy. So that was, there's just so many crazy things that happened there that, 357 days later, you get a hole-in-one, and I remember texting a couple of my buddies saying, "Hey, the next hole-in-one you get, you'll have just as many as I do." So that was kind of cool back in the old flip phone era.
So let's fast forward. Then you said in the year 2000. Now we fast forward 20 years without one.
Yeah.
Then let's set the scene. Early this summer, what happened on hole-in-one number 2 in your lifetime?
The hole-in-one number 2, I kind of put it in quotation marks. It's one of those. I call it a COVID hole-in-one. Yeah. Because what happened is, again, number 14, and it's in league now. And what it does was and again, it's 177 yards, and I hit a 5-iron. And again, I'm playing my left to right fade, and the pin is in the back right, which is perfect for me. And again, I hit off the green, and it rolled, and it hit the pin. And from where we were at, we couldn't tell if it was in or not. We got up there, and actually, the ball was actually outside the hole. So I don't know if it really, but because of the PGA rule at the time was if it hits the pin, then it counts, the stroke counts. So you had guys really trying to like ram putts. Yeah. Out there trying to get it to count.
I think that's perfectly fair, but if you're putting from 30 feet and you just bash one off, that's kind of BS.
But the thing of it was too is you can't tell, because at that time they were like, well, you can't tell if it hits that, because we had styrofoam in ours. If it hits it and bounces out, so it's one of those that it counted as a 1 in league.
Right.
But to call it really a hole-in-one,
So you
I
technically
don't know.
have like 2.5.
2.5, yes, yes.
And
Because
then,
you really can't tell if it did hit the styrofoam and bounce out. I know that, that there is room now, and I'm honest, I don't remember how much farther down it was at that particular night.
what they should do, and I know it's a money thing, but they should have put like a horn on the styrofoam, so if you hit it, then the horn goes off, and but I mean that's
have it hooked up to a light or something.
So do you remember what day that was this summer? It was in June.
Yeah, June. I'd have to look real quick.
Late June.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, like 6
August
weeks?
4th.
August 4th. So
August
maybe
4th.
6 weeks.
Yeah, maybe 6 weeks at
And
most. Yeah.
Same hole, right?
Same hole. This time I'm with
Same club.
Same club.
Same club.
5 iron. Yep, 5 iron, and it was almost the exact same pin placement, the exact same shot. I mean, it was just a replay. It was just weird. The ball hit slightly off the green. One bounce and rolled, and this time I'm with my 2 brothers and my nephew, who's only playing his second round of his life.
He's going to expect that every time he goes out now.
Well, yeah, he was like, well, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Or
exactly.
Doesn't everybody do this? He was like the most unimpressed of everybody. But it was kind of one of those things, we hit it, and of course, I see it rolling. I'm going, that's a hole-in-one. And of course, my 2, no way. You're stupid. And so we go up there, and my other brother, Kyle, we thought that he hit his to the left, and my other brother, Troy, we knew that he hit his to his right. So we're over on the left looking for Kyle's. We can't. There's one ball on the green, and I just figured it was mine.
Right.
And so we're over there looking for Kyle's, and then in the meantime, Kyle and I are looking for his on the left. My other brother, Troy, gets his on the green. So now Kyle and I, we give up and we go back, and so now there's 2 balls now on the green. And so I go to Troy's ball, and I'm about ready to start putting it, thinking it was mine. He goes, get out of there, that's my ball. I'm
so
like,
then yours is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, so we can't find mine. And so then I just figured, well, it must be this other ball. And I go over and pick it up. Wait, this ain't mine. This is, not the ball.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm like, where in the hell's mine at? Meantime, my other brother, Kyle, coming from the left, he just picks the ball up out of the hole and says, well, who's this? And I go, well, that's mine. He goes, well, you just got a hole-in-one. Yeah, because he just thought that one of us, either Troy or I, had putted and had made it. So he was just like, yeah. And I was like, So I didn't even get a picture of it or anything.
You're lucky. He's a better brother than me, because if it was Trey, I probably would have been like, oh, it was sitting 6 inches. You must have not seen it. So let's see. 3 hole-in-ones, 2 in 6 weeks. The odds of getting 1 hole-in-one in a lifetime is 12,500 to 1.
I saw that, yeah.
The odds of making 2 hole-in-ones in a lifetime, 67 million to 1. And the odds of getting, I didn't look up 2.5 because I don't think that would register. But the odds of getting 3 hole-in-one, oh no, this says 3 consecutive aces. That must not be right, because that's 156 million.
Yeah. But it's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the 2, and anybody that plays golf that knows that, it's just, the hole just happens to be where the ball is going. I mean, especially on all 3 of those, I did play my left to right fade, and but even then, it's just luck that the hole is where the ball. I mean, because I know, like it says on there, I think probably that the professional golfers are like 2,500 to 1.
It goes down almost 10,000.
But that's still, yeah. But still, even those guys will tell you just,
it's all about luck.
Yeah,
it's where you hit it.
The better you are, the better chance you got.
Right.
But I mean, the best I ever got was down to a 6 handicap, and I'm a 13 now.
Sure.
So that's, it's luck.
Exactly.
Where those are going.
Now, did you? So the both of your ones this summer happened on hole 14, and for those that don't know Mendota Golf Course, hole 16 is also a par 3. Did those hole-in-ones change your approach at all going into the next par 3?
No.
Did you maybe I'll hit the same club, I just won't hit it as hard?
No. If anything, I probably lost my focus more so than anything else, because I'm still on cloud 9 that I got my the second hole-in-one there, and so it was because from there it's a pitching wedge 9 iron for that 136. But that one there, yeah, and that's my goal is I want to get a hole in one on every one,
Yeah.
on every hole now. So
See, I'd be
I
like-
got the two of the tougher ones done.
I was
So
gonna say,
we'll see.
4 and 14 are not. 7 might be easy. Then 16,
And then
9 is
nine's a little
kind of
tough, yeah.
just because of
Yeah.
the distance.
Yep.
But I would definitely, like, my dumb brain is like, if I hit it with a 7 iron on 14, I would hit like a half of a 7 iron on 16. Be like, hey, maybe it's the
Yeah.
club, maybe it's the ball. Have
Yeah.
you framed all 3 of the balls?
You know, and this is my shout out. Yeah, I've got all 3. The last 2, and this is kind of part of the story too. The last 2, and a shout out to Kurt Bruno's State Farm. Kurt gave me 2 dozen Pinnacle Rush State Farm logoed golf balls for my retirement.
Yeah.
I just retired from teaching, and he gave me 2 dozen as kind of a congratulate. Kurt and I coached football back in the day, and so it got to be good friends. And so both of those were State Farm logoed golf
No
balls.
kidding.
So I got to give a shout out to Kurt for helping me on those 2
Kurt should be
ones.
putting a plaque of you up in the office.
Yeah.
I mean, too, that's like free advertising.
Well, I think it should be a State Farm commercial now or something.
I'm completely with you. Now, the last question I have, you listen to the podcast every week. Between me, Zach, Matt, and Peagoy, none of us have hit a hole in one. I think the easy answer here is Peagoy.
Oh, that's
because
the
he's a
easy one.
one-handed
So
kid.
we'll take him out
All
of
right,
that
so Peagoy's
because he's
gonna
the
do this
obvious answer.
Who's going to get the next hole in one?
And just because I don't want to get cuffed across the alley here, I'm going to say you.
Yes,
I haven't seen.
that's what I was hoping.
I haven't seen. I've seen Zach play, and when Zach's good, he's good. I mean, he could easily get one of those.
Yeah.
Especially on 7 and 16, Zach could easily get one of those. And I haven't seen Matt play.
No one has.
So I can't speak for him, but I've seen you, and you definitely have at least the swing most of the time.
Yeah. The problem is someone have to hit like a lob wedge from 140 yards.
And that's true. I mean, I hit a 5-iron from 177,
Yeah.
and you'd be hitting a
177, I'd be hitting pitching wedge.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
see, the problem, from what I see, and that's the problem I have with 7 and 9, which is a 124 and a 136, is
Yeah.
that it gets up in the air so much that it doesn't run.
Right.
And I
you
think
almost
that-
have to do
right.
the bounce,
Right.
That's
right.
crazy that all
you got to be
3
more
of
accurate.
yours, yeah, all 3 of yours have ran in
Right.
the hole where, you'll see it on SportsCenter a lot of times. They'll take a big bounce and they'll land in, or
Right.
sometimes they'll even dunk them in.
Yeah.
That all 3.
Oh yeah, all 3 of mine ran probably 20 yards.
Now,
Yeah.
all 3 of yours have had a witness to them. Do you ever?
Yes.
Do you worry when you tee off on hole 1 that you're going to hit a hole in one and no one's going to be there? Because it
Yeah.
crosses my mind every time I come
Yeah,
to the park.
well, matter of fact, this last one with my 2 brothers, that was and I keep a pad, that was my 49th round for the year
Jesus.
out at Mendota Golf Course. And I would say out of those 49, probably 30 to 35, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm
the
like,
fact that you hit 2 hole-in-ones in those
and
other...
they actually witnessed that's a miracle too, because I have had especially on number 7 I have hit the pin and left it an
Right.
inch out, and on number 16 I actually air dunked one that just came out and just in other words it went in the air into the cup but
Oh, I'd
came
count
out,
that as a hole-in-one.
but it came out.
I'd count that. I'm counting that. I don't care what anybody says.
So, but I was by myself again, so even if it is,
Now,
there's
do you
no
have a
witness.
backup plan? Because my plan is if I hit a hole-in-one by myself, I'm running or driving the car to a hole to find somebody like, hey, listen, I need you to follow me. I just hit a hole-in-one. I came straight from the tee box. You need to come look at it. I will find somebody.
Well, I've always kind of, on those 2 where I just missed it literally by inches, I have looked around just to see if somebody was on a
Yeah.
mower or somebody was driving by, and both of those there was nobody
No one
to be
around.
found.
Oh, I'm
so.
driving around till I might have to drive back up to the clubhouse. And
Oh, I
get
still don't know if
Craig
that
and be
counts.
like,
Yeah.
Get in the car. Oh man. Well, Dad, thanks so much for coming on. It was great to hear. Obviously, doing some things that most people will never do once in their life. You knocked 3 of them out and 2 in this summer.
So I'm going to play another 20. So I got to play till at least 77 because I think it's an every 20-year
Yeah.
thing for me. So I'm thinking, 2040 is my next one.
So we'll come back in the summer of 2040 and we'll talk about your 4th, 5th, 6th. Thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So that was part 1. We ran a little long. We will be airing part 2 on next week's segment of Local Legends. Like I said, thanks again to my dad, Brian Blumhorst, for coming on the podcast, but we will have him back next week. Let us know, give us some feedback, what you thought of the TCF Local Legends segment. Let's move on to another segment that is one of my all-time favorites, the TCF Local Food Spotlight. I'm going to get us started, boys. I went back to work this week for the first time since, well, actually at work since middle of March. So I got to revisit some of my favorite food spots down in the LaSalle, Peru area. And one of my favorite Mexican joints is a place called Mega Tortas. It is on Route 6 in Peru. If you know anything about Peru, you know the West Clocks factory was one of the big major factories right there on the river. But the West Clocks building is on the south side of Route 6. This place is literally right across from the entrance there. It's called Mega Tortas. Amazing, amazing tacos, quesadillas. You can't go wrong. Drive through super quick. They do a great job. If you're in the LaSalle, Peru area, need some quick Mexican food, you really can't go wrong with anything I've had on the menu. I had a chorizo quesadilla the other day with with verde sauce on it. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I would get that every day if I could. But Mega Tortas on Route 6 in Peru. Make sure to check it out.
All right, I gotta piggyback off Boomy because I'm staying with Mexican food as well. I'm going to downtown Geneva though, and that's Sergio's Cantina, little store, little restaurant on the corner of 3rd Street and Route 38 in Geneva. One of my wife and my favorite places to eat when we moved to the area. Like 6 years ago now. One of the first restaurants we went to, and before we had our kid, used to go there all the time. Just got carry out there the other night though again, and man, that place is outstanding. They do all these like typical, Mexican dishes, but then they have like a pick 2 or pick 3 platter where you can pick like a couple things. So I got the other night, listen to this menu. I go with a chimichanga. It's got steak and chorizo in it. Then I go with a chicken enchilada with mole sauce, and the mole is dynamite. I don't know if you guys have ever had mole sauce.
Oh, yeah.
It's very, very good. Almost has like a hint of almost like a smoky, almost chocolate type hard cocoa kind of flavor. Delicious stuff, and theirs is really, really good there. And then the third was a tamale, and I'm a big tamale guy. And all of it, dude, was so good. My wife swears by their steak fajita bowls. Everything they do is really good. The cocktails there are awesome. Really good frozen drinks. The people are super, super nice. They do,
and it's got cantina. I always feel like that throws a little extra. Cantina, to me, just jumps off the page. I'm like, if it's a cantina, it just seems better to me. It's my dumb brain.
It's like a super casual kind of vibe to it. So it makes it feel like, it's kind of upscale in terms of the location where it's at, but it's not expensive. Like for both of our food, we got chips and salsa. And there's salsa you can buy separately as well.
I like
really,
that.
really good. And it's the thin salsa, it's like the restaurant style. I love that. That's my favorite kind. For all 3 of our meals, and then all the like sides and stuff is like $36.
Oh,
so
wow.
It really was not like for a carry out from a really nice restaurant. That's not a lot of money.
Not bad at all, man. That sounds great.
Yeah,
Mine is Flight Deck Bar and Grill in Rochelle.
At the airport.
At the airport, yeah, they do like jumps there.
To take our kid there forever to watch planes.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's crazy.
It's got a nice little like in there's actually like a shop in there too.
Mm-hmm.
But they do the
skydiving.
There we go. Which I will never ever.
Come on, Zach, let's go.
I'm too afraid. I would freak out.
Way.
I do it.
But it's fun. It's fun to sit out there, watch the people do that. The other people that aren't me. But it's a nice little bar area. Sometimes when it's nice out, they'll have it open up. It's a beautiful little eating area too. I'll be there for lunch actually today. Well, this is recorded last night. Then I'm going actually golfing at Byron. I don't know if you've ever been there. The Byron Golf Course is supposed to be beautiful. But Flight Deck Bar and Grill in Rochelle.
Zach, you're underselling the garage door. They have like this 20-foot garage door, and they
Which
bring
might
it
be
up.
open tomorrow because it'd be cool.
It might be, man. It's really cool. It's huge. It turns it into a great,
Our
scenery
kids-
and yeah.
Our kid's obsessed with airplanes, and
Yeah,
wife
it's
was wanting
cool
to
for
take him
kids.
there forever. Like
And
she,
I
that's
drove
even
by
better
there
than your time.
last weekend, and there was literally a plane landing as I was going across the road on the side of it, and there was a plane. If I'd have thrown a rock through my sunroof, I probably could have hit it because it was.
Hey Matt, maybe I'll send you a video. I'll send you a video maybe if
yeah,
I see one.
yeah, for sure. I'd rather
Right.
see the Instagram live from the golf course too. I've heard that place is awesome.
Maybe I'll do some stuff there because it's supposed to be beautiful.
You ever played in that same area? Dixon's got a nice course, Lost Nation. I really like that course too. It's a lot of fun.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to try out different courses around here. So, but yeah, Flight Deck
a new
Bar
segment,
and
the
Grill.
TCF Golf Course Review.
That'd be beautiful. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if we could tie it in and get a couple rounds somewhere. But
Well, if we get a drone and do some flyovers and
all for
would
that
be
too.
awesome.
I've been trying to convince Zach that we need a drone. We might be working on that. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah, absolutely. But we have another new segment tonight. This is called Over Under. And now the premise of this is I'm going to throw out a couple topics, and we're going to debate whether they are overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated. And I'm going to start with something that I think is extremely overrated: bacon.
Oh my god!
Thoughts,
Perfect.
boys?
I love bacon. Bacon is delicious if you make it the right crispiness. I know you're a sausage guy, but I'm a big time bacon guy. So I disagree
It's
with
not
you.
bad, but I just think like the hype around
Underrated.
it is too much.
I'm going to say it's adequately rated because it is.
You're not wrong.
I think it's good, but the hype is excessive.
Yes.
So
There's like a whole
it's like-
restaurant that only does bacon. Like, come on.
yeah, like
I love it.
it's good, but it's not. It's just good. It's just good.
Awesome. Amazing.
All right.
What's the
Second one I'm
next
throwing out there, and I'm going all over the place, boys. 80. My brain just kicked in today when I was writing these topics. Pickup trucks. I think they're perfectly rated because I'll be honest, I don't drive a pickup truck. I would like one, but I don't like the gas mileage. So I get their purpose. I get why people have them, but I think they're perfectly rated for what they need to do.
I always had to say they're almost overrated because if you have a pickup truck, that just means you have to move shit for people.
Yep.
Zach just knows for
I know that for
bingo.
a fact.
Yep.
and
That's
anytime
exactly
someone
it.
needs to move,
Yeah,
you
say,
go.
we got a truck. Shit.
I'm 100% in agreement with Zach. And for the exact same reasoning, I have a truck. I'm getting rid of my truck. I want to get rid of my truck tomorrow. So if anybody's in the market for an old pickup truck,
Same, actually.
let me know. Let
Yeah,
me know.
Zach,
I
it's
got one.
cool.
It's perfect. It's perfect for working out on a farm somewhere. Get Nick on, see if he needs another truck out there somewhere. Let's get but no, I got to get rid of this thing. I'm tired of it. I don't want to go pick up things for people. I don't want to move
Hold on,
things for people. 100% overrated.
I-
And I'm working from home anymore, so I don't even need it. I bought it to drive in the winter because I thought it'd be fun to drive in the snow. And now I don't even leave the house. So why do I need it?
That's great. That's like buying a snowmobile, then moving to Alabama.
Right. Yes. I don't leave my subdivision. Why do I need a 4-wheel drive truck at this point?
You get
I need
away with a smart car.
Yeah. I have a Civic.
Yeah, you definitely don't
Yeah.
need one.
Yeah. I
All right.
fill it up once a year.
Item number 3, tap water.
Overrated. I don't like it. Overrated.
Adequately rated as trash.
Underrated. Underrated. You
Adequately
guys are
rated as
bougie.
garbage.
You guys are too bougie, man. Tap water's great.
I have an RO system for drinking water. That's how bougie my ass is, dude. Pay up for good water, man. You'll never need bottled water again.
I guess
better than
mine's a little
bottled water.
different though because I have a well. I live out in the
Oh.
country, so I drink well water, and I don't know if I would like. I prefer well water to.
It's definitely
A lot of
different than town water. So
No, I want the crystal clean. Give me that purified. Get everything out of there. I want ice cold, purified, crystal clear water.
All right. I don't know, man. There's just something pure about well water, and I don't know if pure is the right word because it probably isn't super pure.
I
but
also think that's overrated. I think
smell,
you
dude.
the
It's smell.
mindset that you should be drinking water that you probably shouldn't is just
Yeah.
that's like when people
Should I
used to
lit
like
this fire
they
full
figured
of-
out how to like take water and boil it because there's nothing in it. Like what if people were like, no, I'm just gonna keep drinking this. Like that's kind of what you're doing there, bud.
I mean, you're not wrong. I can't really
Thank
agree with you.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm going to finish with what I think is the most overrated thing in listen, you can even say the Midwest, but I'm going to say in Illinois, Chicago-style popcorn. Mixing the cheddar with the caramel is disgusting. Stop glorifying it. I hate it. I think it's the most overrated thing.
Them both separately,
Yes,
but not together. No, that's gross.
I'm
What do you got,
putting in my
Matt?
resignation from the TCF.
Matt's going to
podcast.
be like, I have 3 giant Christmas tins of it underneath my
That's
couch
my
right
company. That's what we give out to our employees. Is that, or not to employees, our customers. The giant tins. My boss is so.
No, I
famous about
like
this.
them.
The
No,
separate.
let me tell you.
Separate, yeah.
Let me tell you. It's the 3 divider. We get the big ass tins, and this is how serious my boss gets it. We brought in when our original popcorn company went under that he used to buy it for from like 15 years. We shipped in samples from like 25 companies around the country, so we could, as a company, try out all these ones to see which popcorn we wanted to give out at Christmas. That's how serious our popcorn is. So we settled on this company in Nebraska, right? Every now and then, like at a Christmas party, if you stick around, our boss is like, take a tin of popcorn, So I always get one every year. The first thing I do when I get home is pull the divider, shake it up. Oh my God, give me the butter, the cheddar, and the caramel together, or else everyone's going to eat the cheddar and the rest is just going to be sitting there by itself. So you got to mix it or else it's never going to get eaten, but it's so good too.
We're going to have to agree to
Let's
disagree.
move on from this, man. That's insane talk, dude.
Give me a hill to die on. I'm going to die on that hill, boys.
I think my dad would like that.
Matt's going to look like Teddy Roosevelt, climbing up San Juan Hill. We got to get that graphic made. But speaking of food,
Custer's last the triple threat popcorn mix.
Just Matt with a sword in a popcorn. Let's move on. Something I would probably put on my TCF not top 3 of food. So this is going to be like our regular top 3, but the opposite. The 3 foods that we dislike.
I'm going first because I don't care.
Go ahead.
Sardines. Who the fuck eats sardines? I'm sorry to cuss. But
it's not just me anymore. All right.
There's a guy that I work with who likes sardines.
Darren Ravel has very differing opinions of you.
That's more of a hard move.
I don't even know how you ever map. How can you ever eat one of those in the first place? How do you? I could look at it and be like, guess what, dude? Not even trying it. That's disgusting.
Okay. I literally agreed with every word you said, Zach, until I don't even know where I was at. I think it was a pizza place, like a fancier pizza place in Rockford, and they have this special salad. And I started eating it, and I had no idea what was in it. And I took a couple bites, and I'm not a big salad eater. I'm like, yeah, that's not too bad. It's a little salty. And someone's like, oh, yeah, there's sardines in it.
It's Caesar.
I'm freaking out.
Caesar salad.
It wasn't that bad.
Caesar salad does not have sardines in it.
I'm pretty sure traditional Caesar dressing is made with sardine, like traditional Caesar dressing. I'm almost positive. Somebody fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
It wasn't the worst thing in the world. But other than that, Zach, I'm with you. If you pick up a can of sardines and start eating, you're a psycho.
See ya.
You're an absolute lunatic. Matt, you want to go second?
Yeah, I'm probably going to set you guys up with this one, too. It's pickles. Pickles are garbage. Pickles are trash. No one should ever eat them. They smell, they don't taste good, and they're a waste. They're made by a vegetable sitting in oil for a long length of time. What good is that? Get out of here.
I half agree with you. I like dill pickles. I think the sweet what is it called? The butter pickles.
Those suck. Those suck. Yeah, not just. But to say pickles in general suck.
Garbage.
Get out of here.
By the way, it's Caesar. It's anchovy. It's not.
That's what it was.
Thank God.
Those are the same thing, aren't they?
Tomato. They're both garbage fish, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're both like bottom-feeding fish.
Yeah.
They're basically cooked bait.
They're bait. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna come in hot. Number one. This is probably a boring answer if you watch any like traveling food shows, but durian is one of the grossest thing I've ever eaten.
Oh, yeah.
Durian is a fruit from Southeast Asia, and you peel it apart, and it almost has like a custardy texture, but it
Does it stink?
literally smells like a dumpster that hasn't been cleaned out in like 6 years.
Yeah.
I've never like gagged or threw up from bad tasting food, and I was dry heaving when I had durian at a restaurant in Chicago. It was the grossest thing I've ever eaten. So that's my first round pick. We'll wrap around. This is an easy one. Black licorice. That is vile.
The fuck
I don't understand how anybody. And I like Jägermeister from time to time, but it's got to be with Red Bull or something. But
That's
black
one of those
licorice.
candies that like you do say you like, but you just kind of. I mean, it's not. I'll eat it. I don't think it's horrible, but like it's one of those you kind of grandstand on. It's like, oh, kind of be a hard no about it.
It's one of those like I'd never understood like how that still continued to be a flavor after the year like 1831. Like when they invented like fruit flavors of things, like that should have just been done. We shouldn't even have got that to like the Civil War.
Totally
Sure.
agree. Totally agree. Black licorice is garbage. The next garbage food is going to be Greek yogurt. Nothing else needs to be said. Greek yogurt is absolute vile dog.
You're
I can't. I probably never. I don't think I've ever had it.
Matt, that tears my heart. I've literally found like one of my new. I don't eat a lot of breakfast, but I've been taking like a couple cups of
Yogurt in general.
Greek yogurt, throwing 1 scoop of protein powder in it, and I've been eating that for breakfast for like a month now.
I can't do Greek yogurt.
Is it the
I don't know what it
thickness?
is. I don't know what it is. It's
Yogurt in general.
regular yogurt?
I don't mind it. I don't
okay.
mind regular yogurt.
I think it's weird.
Greek yogurt, there's something about it. But the weird thing is, I like sour cream on on food.
Sure.
So I don't know why, but
Did you eat like too much of it as a kid and puke it up or something?
I don't even think it was around when I was a kid. Greek yogurt seems like one of those things that came into play like 4 months ago, and everybody's like been swearing they're like been eating for decades.
Yeah.
Mine, boys, horseradish. Disgusting.
I don't mind horseradish.
Yeah, I've seen it made. It'll make you cry.
Yeah.
Disgusting smell. And then every year, my grandma, she'll put freaking cheese out, like crackers, and I just will never know. Eat one, boom, horseradish cheese. Ruins my night.
Yeah, it's one of those things you got to know it's coming.
I don't like it. I think it's disgusting.
You get your third round pick here.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there's so many. Like I'm getting my mind in a blender here.
Yeah, it helps like planning these things out because I literally have a list of like 15 things I want to put on. But
no, I like the surprise element though, where we don't know what we're gonna get. Zach and I have no clue what's coming at us here in these things.
Like I said, there's a lot of bad foods out there.
Tons.
Trying to think of something a food that is just gross to me. I got horseradish. What do I got? Horseradish and what was my first one?
You had I don't know. I'm trying to blank already.
Yeah, I'm so concentrated on mine.
Well, thanks for listening.
Did you even name either of my first two? Come on, pop quiz.
You said Chance said durian.
I don't even know what durian is, so I'm
look it up, man.
If
you are ever at a place, just try it one time and tell me it's not the worst thing you. I luckily I paid $0 for it.
I would say in general, if I just like eat an onion, I think it's disgusting.
Yep.
Like it just leaves the worst taste. Like I just can't get that taste out of my mouth.
I am 100% with you. I like
sautéed onions, maybe like if I don't know it, but like a raw onion, it's just like I can't get that taste out of my mouth.
Okay, yes. On mine, I'm gonna say
like it's not eating a raw onion, but like slices in the salad.
Yeah, like if it's on like your Big Mac or something.
Mine's broccoli because it's the smell. When broccoli's cooked, there's the smell. It smells like a sweaty ass locker room. is what it smells like. It's horrible.
If it's not
So
cooked right, it smells like a
but
giant
then-
fart.
But then it's like you feel like you're eating a fucking bush. Like you're just like, I don't know. Like
You
it's
walked
just
out to
like
the front
mini-
yard.
Yeah, like you just chunked out of a hedge. Like you walked up to the hedges and you just bit into it. And that's what broccoli is. Only it's cooked in a locker room. Because that's what it smells like. So it's that broccoli.
Beets
get
are
out of
bad
here.
too. Beets.
Beets was one I had on the list.
Ugh.
My last pick of the third round is mayonnaise. I don't know what it is.
Oh my god!
Stand mayonnaise.
Come on.
I would have
Dude,
to. I would say I
gross.
agree
Mayonnaise
with
gets a
Boomy,
bad
but I'm not a big mayonnaise guy either. I just don't
Mayonnaise
want
gets a bad rap, dude.
Mayonnaise tastes like fat.
Mayonnaise is, let's just say, it's properly rated.
I disagree. I hate mayonnaise.
Oh, I'm not saying it's. What I mean is like you saying it's underrated, Matt. Mayonnaise.
No,
is
I think
overrated.
mayonnaise might be underrated. I think mayonnaise might be a little bit underrated.
I would
Hard
think
pass.
the billionaires of the mayonnaise companies would say differently.
I don't think
All right,
Mr. Helm
Matty
is
mayonnaise,
going
what's
to say
better?
anything negative about mayonnaise.
Do you have a preference? Isn't there like Miracle Whip or
Miracle Whip is not. I don't think that's mayonnaise. I think that's like Miracle Whip is Miracle Whip. It's like a sandwich spread. I think is the definition. I'm like I always buy Hellman's. That's like that's the household go to. I'm the only one that eats it. I'm not saying it's popular. That's why I'm saying I think it's underrated a little bit. We got slander on mayonnaise from you guys. Other people slander mayonnaise like it's not like people just eat spoonfuls of mayo. Like you just
if someone does
that.
that's
Oh, well, there's definitely people
dude,
who
that's
do.
a serial killer move. Let's not kill
Yeah.
ourselves. But like if it's spread on a sandwich, you know what's crazy? Portillo's chocolate cake. The key ingredient in that
it has
is
mayonnaise in it.
Unbelievable. The cake
Yeah.
shake.
Mind blowing. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So versatile too. It's a hell of an ingredient, mayonnaise.
Well, Matt, isn't like baking soda an ingredient in cake? I'm not gonna go eat a thing of baking soda.
I'm just saying. Don't slander it. Don't
That's
The
another.
ones I had on my list,
That makes you
and I don't know
think,
how you
though.
guys feel about this. I had carrots and green beans on my list as well.
Green beans, awesome. Carrots.
Green beans is weird. I don't like canned green beans.
Dude, I bought green beans from a farm down the road.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Oh my god, I grilled them. Put them in olive oil for about a half hour with some seasonings and some
That's
vegetable seasonings
completely
and stuff. Threw them in a grill skillet.
No,
for 10
so
minutes, dude,
you
they're
gotta
phenomenal.
specify then.
I
And
did. I did.
I'm not a big
I know,
vegetable
but you-
guy, as you can tell. But green beans,
and I
like
think
on the
carrots-
grill, dynamite.
Ugh, carrots are gross.
See, what a lot of times I'll do is I'll mix chopped up
I like
carrots with
carrots.
the green beans on the
Ooh.
grill. So grilled carrots are really good too. They kind of get.
I
a little
like grilled
crisp to 'em.
carrots a lot.
Yeah.
The only time I had grill or like anything with carrots that I like, there was like it felt like 2 pounds of brown sugar and butter with it. That was the only time I was like, well, okay, I can handle this. And I'm really not a picky eater, but like I'll eat them if it's like
Can I
there,
go
but
back?
I'm not
Can
going.
we go back to the overrated, underrated real quick? I got to get your guys' input now that we're talking about these vegetables. Sweet corn. Give me an overrated, underrated, adequately rated.
Underrated. I think it's amazing.
Yes. Sweet
Yeah.
corn is amazing.
I would lean a little bit more just because of where we live towards adequately rated, just because it feels like everybody around here eats sweet corn. But I think nationwide, I agree with you. It's underrated.
I'm gonna have to tell you, Boomy. I don't think we're the only area that eats sweet corn.
No, I'm just Midwest. It's definitely more of a staple than it is.
I mean, they have
I'm-
it at grocery stores.
I think we're spoiled here though too, because so many farms around us had, like you can go 5 miles outside of any town here and find a good
Yeah.
farm that sells really good sweet corn in this area. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's like
You're very right. Like I have like
Very
3
spoiled
contacts in
area.
my phone I could call right now for a dozen ears of sweet corn that were picked today. You know?
everybody's looking for a sweet corn guy.
What the
Yes.
We got a sweet corn hardo over here. I got fucking.
I got
fucking
guys.
I got fucking guys.
I got my sweet corn guy.
I got sweet corn guys. Who are you, dude?
I got a guy.
He's got
I
three of
called 3 different guys, man. I'll fucking adjust fucking sweet corn here in 2 hours.
Jesus Christ, is the last time I bring anything up. Piss off.
Dude, you just said I would call 3 guys.
I was adding to Matt's sentence.
That's literally that's like a
Jesus.
Wilbon. I golf with
Chuck
Barack
Barkley.
Obama.
I just won't add anything anymore.
So I went to my kid's baseball game and I looked over and my friend Charles Barkley was sitting right next to me. My kid went up to the plate, and
That is not what happened.
he was facing Magic Johnson's kid on the mound, and my kid went up to the plate.
Oh, you guys like green beans? I got fucking 3 guys. I'll just get you guys.
That's not
green
what
beans
happened. You are
tomorrow.
greatly exaggerating this.
No, I'm not
farmers
exaggerating.
markets are hot in the
It was
streets right
hilarious the way you said that.
I was adding to the story.
That's not adding to the story.
Boomy's floater next week is
What
farmers
story was,
market.
hey, Boomy, you got anybody that gives some sweet corn?
I'm done talking to you.
I can't.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 77 or 78. Now I'm all flustered. Never talking to you guys again. Just kidding. But thanks for tuning in to episode 78 of Typical Chicago Fans. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Head on over to YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube page. We got to get to 100 subscribers here soon because we got a giveaway we're trying to do, and we ain't going to do it until we get 100 subscribers. So head on over there, type in Typical Chicago Fans, subscribe there for all of our videos in content form. Make sure you follow the Twitter main page at typical_Chicago. Make sure you follow Zach and Matt on Twitter at ZAliliaTCF and at schools_01. Thank you very much to our sponsor of today's episode, 26shirts.com. Make sure you head to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago. Find a great product you want, shirt, hat, flag, whatever you want, you can find there. They fit great. Me and Zach got our shirts on tonight. Use promo code Typical Chicago Fans. What the hell is so funny?
I don't know. Matt's laughing. I can't not laugh. I don't know. What is funny, man? Because you made me laugh.
The corn guy. I just can't get over the corn guy. I don't know. It's the best. This is my favorite show ever we've done, I think.
Hey, you give Chance your address. You will have so much corn to your house.
Let me know. I'll have my guy bring it to you.
Jeez.
We need 26 shirts to get something with corn related on the shirt for us. Just something. Get an
This is
ear of
with
corn.
a corn cob that says, I got a guy.
I got a guy.
I got a corn guy. Good.
Anyway, go to their website. Typical Chicago Fans is the promo code for 15% off. Like I said, me and Zach got our shirts on tonight. Matt's got his ordered. The promo code does work. Like I said, Typical Chicago Fans, 15% off. And not only that, they help out good causes. They help out different charities or organizations that work in the community. So it's a win-win-win with the promo code, helping us out, helping 26shirts.com Chicago and all of the charities that they help support. Again, thank you for joining us. That was episode 78. We love you all.
Peace.